Okay, here we are in the Palatial Palace of England, and the Palatial Palace with the lovely. How are you today, Ida Zetterström? How are you today, and where are you?
Hi, I'm really good. I am in my home in Avon in Indianapolis, so over in
Yeah,
US.
Indianapolis. Yeah, that's really cool. So, for those people who don't really know, you was a European champion here, Europe, and obviously in England, for the FIA Tour. How did you originally get into drag racing?
I started when I was 8 in the class junior dragster. I've been at the drag strip since I was 3 weeks old. My family has
Wow.
always been around racing. My dad raced actually back before I was born. He raced in pro stock in the late 80s and early 90s. But
Yeah,
then he worked with a lot of teams, built a lot of engines, worked with a lot of nitrous setups and both in sportsman classes and pro modified, and kind of always been around race cars and race tracks growing up. So fell in love with it very early.
so yeah, so what was the first car that you drove? I guess really, obviously you started really early, but what was your first car that you really took to the needle on the drag strip?
Yeah, the Uni Dragster was my first car.
Yeah,
So my
yeah,
dad
good
was
fun, good
a
fun.
Uni Dragster. So when I was 8, obviously now you can be a lot younger when you
Yeah.
start, but back
Hmm.
when I raced, 8 was the lowest stage. So I kind of waited for the year 8 to come around, and we started in that class. So we had a junior dragster stock, what they were
Yeah,
called. And then when I was 12, I got to make a lap on or like make a leap into the class that was called Unidrax Modified. So
modified. Yes.
switched
Okay.
to a little bit of a bigger car, and then actually had a third car. We run that car for about a year, and then we traded into a little bit of a better car, which was actually the late Lissy Musie's car from here in America that I drove for
Fantastic.
the remainder of my junior dragster periods.
So was you a champion at junior dragster?
I never raced a championship. I raced
Right.
where my dad went. So my dad
Yeah.
worked with race teams,
Yeah.
and where he was working, I was racing. So we were never
Yeah.
able to chase a championship because we were never able to go to all the races that was needed to chase a championship. But I
Fantastic.
raced a lot, and we did win a lot. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
never I chased for a championship. It was just the chase for trophies at that point.
Okay. So you mentioned a little bit like pro modified and all that. So where did you sort of take yourself into drag racing on the strip?
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, Junior Dragster was where I started, and then
Yeah.
when I was 16, I went up to the class called Super Comp. So I
Yeah.
licensed in Super Comp with a Swedish team, quarter mile racing.
Yeah.
I never raced in that class. I ran with them a few times, but I never had my own car or so on in that class. And then I started racing bikes a little while after that. So the majority of my race career has still been on the bike side.
Yeah. And what level was you at on the bikes? Because that's quite interesting. Your career.
I raced super street bikes,
Yeah.
so that was it's the highest level you can race without wheelie bars, so to say.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
pro class, obviously a really huge class in Europe. It was massively growing when I got into it. We raced the Scandinavian series and a little bit in the European series. So we got to run quite a bit per season, and I did about 7 years racing bikes, but
Yeah.
4 years really competitively in super street bike. So we won a championship in 2019 in Scandinavia, and then in 2020 we won the Finnish championship because obviously by that time COVID had rolled around and we were not
Yeah.
allowed to go and run the European championship or the Scandinavian. We had to kind of stay in our country, and then
Yeah.
after that I progressed to Top Fuel.
Top Fuel. So now then, Top Fuel. Amazing. Did you start off straight into NHRA or did you start off IHRA to start with?
I mean, I started in Europe, so
Yes,
started
yes, obviously,
FIA.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is where I started Top Fuel. So in
So you started,
2021,
yeah.
I
So
licensed with
obviously,
Runa.
I mean, I remember watching you at Santa Pod, and you came down. You'd won the championship, and then you was interviewed as you got out the car at the top end, and that must have been a really good feeling for you.
Yeah, obviously running those years with the RF Motorsport and Runefjeld over in Europe were still some of the best years in racing. We had a great time licensed in 21 and ran one of the events over there, and then we ran the full season in 22, and then in 23 that's when we won the championship and had a great season together with the team. We won all but one race, basically, and just had a really good go. So yeah, absolutely, all of those memories are really fond, and was a great time racing over there, and especially at Santa Pod. Obviously, we had a lot of our races there, and um, the records we were able to set for both.
Yeah,
Speed and ET were set on Santa Pod. Santa Pod was also the place where we first broke into the three sevens in Europe, which
yeah,
was a big moment for us over in 2022. And then obviously in 2023, bettering that European record in ET and setting a European record in speed, and then kind of having the great season we did. It was obviously really good. Yes.
So European wise, did you ever? I think you may possibly have done Anita Michaela. Did you ever race against Anita?
I did not know, because
No,
when
that was up
I
just
started,
after you went.
I
Yeah,
started after COVID, and that was when COVID hit. It was
yeah.
about the time where she obviously could not race. Nobody could race at that
No,
point
no,
where
no.
COVID hit.
Yes,
And then after that, I have raced with her husband though. So I
yes, yes.
raced against
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really good. So, on the European side, who was the best races that you've had over here?
The best
Best
races.
people you've raced against? Yeah. Who would you say?
Oh,
Suzanne or?
yeah. I mean, there's really several really great races over there. We raced a lot, obviously, against both Susanne and Antti. The first year I raced with them quite a bit, and
Yeah.
they're both great racers and really tough
Hmm.
opponents up there. Raced against obviously Tommy. It was not an easy matchup either. I
No.
remember the first race I won. I raced Tommy in one of the runs, and I raced Antti in another, and neither of them are easy targets. And
No,
same
no.
with the Susanne. I remember one race she took the European record and I took the European record, and we went back and forth, and it was
Yeah.
just a really tight matchup there. I raced India several times, which also we
Yeah.
were able to come out on the winning side, but it was really tight margin
Always
every time.
tight.
It was
Yeah.
really tight races.
Yeah.
So yeah, several really good racers over there that we've raced against. But obviously the RF Motorsport cars were always some of the toughest to go up against, because we
Yeah.
knew we had one point that in a year where all three RF Motorsport cars had held the European record at some point, and I think that says a lot about the program Rune is running and how
Yeah.
good those cars are.
Absolutely. Yes. So then you then decided to go off into the States,
Yep.
and obviously competing out there. I mean, that's a massive project, isn't it, for you all? You have to gain your sponsorship. You've got to go, I guess, a lot of time to go to meetings, to go appearances for the sponsors, and so on. It must be a great thing, but very tiring as well, I should think.
Yeah, well, the actual racing part is kind of a small part of what I do.
Yes.
The finding sponsors and working on being able to stay out here is the majority of what I do out here. So yes, there's a lot of working, late nights on the computer,
Mm.
doing everything from sponsorship proposals to new decks, sending out presentations, going over contracts, having meetings. I've been traveling around a lot for meetings with potential sponsors. We are
Yeah.
still looking for the partners that we need to be able to run full time next year. So it's
Okay.
not a given yet that we can be out here full time next year, but we're working really hard at it, and it does take a lot of time. Obviously, the to taking care of the sponsors and going, to shows and so on, like you talked about, that's part of it, but that is not something that is stressful in the same way because it's something that I really enjoy, and by that
Yeah,
time you are in a relationship with that sponsor and you have an easy time doing all this, and it's actually really fun. The more stressful part is the state I'm in right now, you know, when you're trying to find the partners
yeah,
to work with and trying to find a way to stay out here. So yes, it's a massive job, and a lot of people, they see what we do on the racetrack, they see what we share on social media, and obviously I try to share as much behind the scenes as possible on social media, but I can't share that part. I can't share, you know, all the meetings I
no.
have with potential sponsors or all the work I put into that or all the research. So there's a lot of the things that I do that is my job that people don't really see or really realize how much time it takes.
Yeah, because I know you're extremely busy with it all. Going back to the racing side, it must be really, really exciting for you. Obviously, you need to get X amount of millions, I guess, per dollars per season to continue. Um, and then, so you as a racer and known over here, and obviously now you are starting to win events as well. You're starting to get known as well. That must be really, really helping you.
Yeah, well, we've been kind of struggling this year. We have not won many rounds when we started the season. It's been a combination of, you know, trying to find the setup for this car and for me with this car and the whole team. And then when you're not running a full season, it is really hard because you're coming out here and you're running against the best in the world that are running
Yeah,
twice as many times per year as you are, and they get twice as much data from all the tracks and from the season. So we've
yeah,
kind of constantly been a little bit behind, but we found some good performance for these last races, and haven't picked up a wall yet, but we've gone close at least. We've gone to the final, and we've been able
yeah,
to win some more rounds, and, you know, knock out some really heavy hitters and champions. So that obviously helps. It helps the momentum, but a lot of the time with sponsors and what it comes down to, the performance part on track is just one part of it, and then there's
yes,
so much
yeah,
more
yeah,
that goes into it. But it obviously helps. It helps the momentum, and it kind of helps the team morale and everything. So I wish our season wasn't over. This last race was our last race, so we don't have any more
yeah.
races this year. But I wish we did. I wish we could keep this momentum up, and we could have picked up a Wally this year. I think that would have made a big change as well. So
Absolutely. So when does your season start again for us over here to be watching you,
I don't know yet because it will depend if I have the
the
money to go race
sponsors?
or not.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so it
So
all kind of depends on that. Right now, I don't know if I'm racing 0 races or if I'm racing 10 races or if I can do a full season. I don't know yet.
no, so that is big, big bucks out in the States. That you, from what you see on social media, you've got quite a big operation there. But obviously, there's the bigger players that have got a few people within their team, and they got 14, 15, 20 trailers that turn up, and so in a way, I guess it must be quite daunting, but you know exactly where you want to be, where you want to place yourself, and take on these big hitters as well. And plus, you've got a couple of other European drivers out there as well now.
Over in US.
Yes.
Um, well, not in Top Fuel. Right now, I believe I'm the only European driver
Oh,
in
yeah.
Top
So the
Fuel.
others are doing IHRA then, I guess. Yeah,
Mm,
maybe. Lexion and
yes, like Jonah has been doing. He did about I think he did a few races this year in NHRA, but mostly IHRA. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
When you
yeah.
said you have some new European, and I thought he's been here way longer than me, so I didn't count him as a new European
Yes,
out
yes,
here.
yes. Yeah, no,
He's
yeah.
definitely been here for some years, and then obviously we have Julie as well, and she's been doing funny car this year and not Top
Yes, no,
Fuel.
that's a
So
big step up. Is that
we
something you would like to do?
well, I wouldn't say a step up. They're the same in my opinion.
Yes,
Top Fuel
yes,
and
yeah, but
Funny
that's a
Car, you know,
completely
we're
different
the
ball
same
game.
races, but they're way different cars. Yes,
Definitely
yes.
different drive. But would that be something you would consider in the future?
Um, yeah. If when I feel I'm done with Top Fuel, that might be something for a new challenge. But right now, I'm not looking to flip into another class. I'm looking to try and make this work. So in Top Fuels.
So I mean, the whole thing with yourself and obviously seeing you over here, is that you always keep it real. You know exactly where you are. You've got good people around you, and then you're so very, very focused. So when you approaching the sponsors and everything else, they must think, "Wow, we need to be with this lady. We need to be doing this."
I wish it was that easy. I really do.
Yeah,
It's obviously there's a lot that comes to play out here, and a lot of the times these big companies that are sponsoring teams and drivers out here and been doing so for many years, it usually comes down to pre-existing relationships. You know, someone
yeah,
that they've been working with for many years and someone that they know, and that's obviously a little hard for me since I'm not from America. I don't have all those connections. I am
no,
not, you know, I haven't been out here for 30 years in America. So
yeah, yeah,
it's all about trying to make those connections for me right now and trying to find those companies to work with. And yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm working really hard to try and find that. But to say it's been easy, or to say that, you know, getting those meetings and they all, you know, wanting to jump on right away, that would be a lie. It's a lot more that comes into it, and it's extremely hard, but we'll keep working at it, and hopefully we can find the right partners. We have some really great partners that are on board already. It's just
yeah.
not enough to race the whole season, so
No.
we gotta find more of them to be
Will
able
you
to be
get
out here.
help from at home as as well, or are you fundamentally looking at the US side for the sponsors?
Both. I mean, I don't get help from home like
No.
that. It's not companies that are, I mean, in drag racing there's not really companies that are helping out. I mean, it's got to
No.
be there's got to be a business agreement there where it's beneficial for them to help out, where it's a
Yeah.
collaboration where we actually make our money. So the days where companies just help out and, you know, kind
Yeah.
of sponsor because they
See,
have money, those are they do still exist, but I haven't been so fortunate
yeah,
to have
because
that. But
back in the day, you used to have the great big oil companies and all of those. I mean, obviously you've got VP, which is fantastic. We know VP over here as well. But you know, so and Castrol and all of those. But the bigger companies, they don't seem to be doing this anymore in the track racing. You know, um,
um, it's changed a little bit, and the kind of scene of how you work with sponsors have changed a lot throughout the years. I know back in the day, a lot of what it was about was obviously the marketing side of having, you know, the logos on the car and getting as much TV time as possible.
yeah,
I know everybody didn't work with sponsors that way back in the day. There were still some companies and some teams that were very forward thinking, but the way it started was a lot about that. You know, you wanted the big logos and as much visibility as possible and as much TV time. But right now, that's a really, really small part of it. You won't be
yeah,
able to sell a main sponsorship from just logos on the car and TV time. There has to be a lot more. And that is also when the social media comes into play. And obviously,
yeah,
I do have a big social media presence and working
yeah. Seen it.
a
Yeah,
lot on that. But then it's also the hospitality we have on track is very important as well. We do have a really large hospitality located in between the teams where our sponsors and their customers or their guests can sit and, you know, watch us work on the race cars and have lunch or dinner and, you know, have their meetings. We have a meeting room in our trailer where they can actually sit and take some time.
yeah.
We also have several sponsors where I, you know, do a lot of what do you call it, like visits to their
Catering
trade
and
shows and do
hospitality. Yeah,
different, yeah. And then the B2B side is very large within drag racing as well, where we're
yeah,
able to help different companies out in different ways, where we might be partnering with one company that for example, this last weekend, I had a new sponsor on the car, and we had Dialight, and Dialight is world leaders in industrial lighting, and they have everything from lights that we use in our hospitality and under our uh, by our trailers and, you know,
yeah,
under the roof of the tent. But it also have a lot of things for the new building that we're building and similar, you know, construction projects that we have, and then if we have other companies that we work with that also have big projects going on, we can be able to work together, and in that way maybe save money for one of our sponsors and make money for another one. So that's where the B2B thing comes into play, and it's very important in this sport.
It's exactly the same for everyone over here as well. The business and business side is so
Yes.
important. Loving your cut Primark, like
Yeah, it was
that.
basically a little, actually by Route 66, there's a little hotel that we had to stop at because we got a flat tire once. So we just
Oh,
stopped, and it was a little family owned bed and breakfast. Really, really cute little hotel. So when we stopped the next time, they upgraded us to a suite, and they fitted us out with little mugs and some stuff.
so
So
send
it's
it
been
to
really,
them. Send this to them. Yes.
yeah, I should do. Yes, yes.
So looking forward then, let's just hope that you obviously reach your goals for next year and it all goes in the right direction. I'm pretty sure it will. I feel confident for you. I think
Thank you.
you've
I'll
got
keep
yourself,
working at it.
you've got the team behind you. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to now press on and compete in a very constructive and obviously professional way, which is what you've always done anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
definitely keep trying. It's kind of all about the funding right now. I feel like as long as we have that, we I'm very confident in my team and the fact that we would be able to go out there and compete on the high level that we need to. It kind of all comes down to having the money to go do it. It's also very hard when you race with the best in the world and you are afraid to kind of push to the same level because you don't have the enough
that
parts or as
funding.
many,
Yeah.
the budget that they do. So that's also something that's very important out here. So we'll definitely keep working at it, and I'm hoping we're gonna make it happen for next year.
Fantastic. I'm hoping to catch up with you now. Just a quick question for you. Would you ever come back and race in Europe, even if it was a demonstration pass or a championship, or would it be something that you would consider?
Yeah, I mean, I when I started racing over here last year, I made my debut in Brainerd, and then I flew straight from Brainerd over to Germany to
Yeah.
do the night run at
Yeah.
Hockenheim
And that was
with
against
Rune
Tommy.
in the
And
car
yeah.
that we won the championship with. So I really, really enjoyed doing that, and the plan was to do something similar again this year. We had sponsors and partners in Hockenheim when we did that, but they changed the schedule this year. So Hockenheim actually collided with the Brainerd race that we raced.
Right.
So we
Hmm.
weren't able to do so. But otherwise, that was something we were looking forward to hopefully doing. I wouldn't be against, doing something similar, coming to Santa Pod or something to do show
Yeah.
runs. I think it would be
Hmm.
really fun. But for me, it would have to make sure that it doesn't collide with one of our races in
Yeah.
US, of course.
So
And the
yeah.
other part is that if I do so, I would like to do so with Rune
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the car that
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
ran
Yeah. Yeah.
before,
And
because
get one of
obviously
your Runa's cars out there and give it a go. Yeah. Fantastic.
yeah, but I know that my car that I ran when I won the championship was obviously out there running this last year. Liam was racing in the same car.
Liam.
So
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
know that it's really hard to come over and run in that car because it's already in use. And obviously Rune has several cars, but one of the other cars that I know both Duncan and Antti has raced in the past.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't fit in it. My legs are too long. I've tried
Yeah. Yeah.
before, but it just won't work. I'm built a little strange, really long legs. So I think the
Well, yeah,
only
but no, it's
cars
not
I
a
will be
problem.
able to, yeah, the only cars I will be able to fit in is the car that I raced for championship with, or Suzanne's car. And as it is right now, obviously Liam and Suzanne are running those cars, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to see them in them. So we'll see. But maybe I'll come over and visit at some point if the schedules don't collide.
Yes, absolutely. What I'd like to do as well is catch up with you. So when does the NHRA series start in 2026?
So it starts in Gainesville in March. So I
Right.
believe it's
Okay.
the second week of March,
Yeah.
without looking at the schedule. So that is when it kicks off in Gainesville. So
Okay.
it's still a little bit to go. We have,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
raced 2 more races to go. I just won't race them, but
Yeah.
when I am not racing, I am doing announcing for NHRA.tv. So I'll be heading out to Las Vegas in a little bit and be doing announcing for NHRA and
Yeah.
staying for a few days for the big SEMA show that we have with partners over there. And then
Hmm.
I'll be heading out to Pomona, California for the last race of the year here in mid-November.
Yeah.
And when that's done, that's a wrap for the season. And then
Yeah.
hopefully by that time, I will know what I'm doing in 2026. So
Okay. What we'll do is we'll stay in touch, and then say February time or whenever we'll have a chat again, and
absolutely.
bring yourself back up to us over here as well. This does go onto YouTube. It goes onto the Facebook page as well. We'll send you a copy of it. Please share as much as you can as well. That'd be absolutely
Perfect.
amazing. It's been
Fantastic.
absolutely incredible talking to you,
You too. Thank you so much for
and
having me on.
thank you very much, Ida. You are a lovely lady. Thank you very much, and love from us over here in Europe and obviously in England as well.
Thank you so much, Nigel.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.